Hello guys, this is Mr. Guillermo. In today's video, I'm going to explain to you how to complete, how to solve the exercise 1 in your Reveal Math Course 1 book. This exercise is on the page 35 in the practice section for the lesson Compare Racial Relationships. So first thing that I want to mention guys is we need to read the problem. We need to analyze the problem and understand that reading is not the same to analyze. So we need to analyze the problem, and if we need to read it, if we need to read the problem more than one time, it's going to be okay as long as you understand what the problem is about. So let's go ahead and attack it. It says cereal brand A advertises that they have 60 raisins in their 24-ounce box of cereal. The advertised ratio of raisins to ounces for two other cereal brands are shown in the table for the brand B and graph for the brand C. The question is, which brand advertises the greatest ratio of raisins to ounces of cereal? Justify your response, okay? So if you notice guys from the problem, we have three different types of ways, three different ways to represent the ratios. For the brand A, we have a single ratio, 60 to 24. For the brand B, we have a table relationship, which is 6 to 18, 12 36, and I want to mention that the book has a typo. This equivalent ratio should be 18 and 54, and the last one is 24/72. And for brand C, I have a graph. So there are three different ways to represent the relationship of raisins to ounces of cereal. Um, but the best way to go ahead and try to make a comparison between the three brands is to have all the brands information in one single graph, like this one. This is the same graph that we have here. So we can graph the points, because remember, we can represent the ratios as ordered pairs on the coordinate plane. And we're gonna have a line for each brand, and the steepest line is gonna represent the greatest ratio of raisins to ounces of cereal. And that's going to be the way that we can answer the question. Okay, solve the problem. Okay, so we have a problem before we start. Is look at the brand A information. We have 60 raisins to 24 ounce of cereal, 24 ounces of cereal. And if you notice on the x-axis for the graph, we have the ounces of cereal, and in the y-axis we have the raisins. And if I want to graph this ratio, which is 24 and 60, 24 is almost here. And if I try to find the y-coordinate that represents 60 on the y-axis, it's outside the graph. Okay, so I cannot graph that point because my graph is limited. Okay, the maximum y-coordinate I can represent is 50, and for my x-axis is 40. So order pairs with quantities greater than 40 for the exact x-coordinate and 50 for the y-coordinate are going to be outside my graph. Okay. To do so, I need to generate the equivalent ratios. I need to maintain the ratio so that I can go ahead and solve this problem. And for brand A, we're gonna use scaling to write the order pairs. Scaling is the process to generate ratios, equivalent ratios, when we have one ratio. Okay. For example, the ratio that I have here is 24 ounces to 60 raisins. We have it here. Okay, 60 to 24 is the same. And if you notice, we can divide both quantities, 24 and 60, by 4. So if we divide that by 4, we divide it by 4, this is going to be 6, and if I divide 60 by 4, I'm going to have 15. And then I can, remember, this process is scaling. We are scaling backward or scaling down. We are scaling down. And then I'm going to go ahead and scale up. So if I multiply this ratio by 2, it's going to have 6 times 2 is 12. And 15 times 2 is 30. Then if I multiply the same ratio by 3, I'm going to have 18 and 45. And it's the same to add 6 to 12 and 15 to 30 to have this ratio. Okay, so now we have 3 new equivalent ratios besides 24 and 60. And if you notice, 6, 12, and 18 are in the x axis, and 15, 30, and 45 are in the y-axis, so I can graph all these points. So the first point is gonna be 6, 15. The second is gonna be 12, 30. And the last order pair is gonna be 18, 45. Now, once we have this information, we can go ahead and graph these 3 points on the graph, and that's going to represent the brand B. Sorry, the brand A. So I'm going to go ahead and graph all these points. 6. Remember, we start on the x-axis. We start at the origin, and then we go right 6 units because it's 6, 15. So 6 is here, and if I go to 15, it's gonna be on this line. Okay, so I'm going to place my point here, 6, 15. Next one is 12, 30. So 12 is here, right? And 30 is gonna be, you need to go up. 30 is there. Okay. And the same, I repeat the same process. Remember, my ratio is 6, 15, which is the same as 24 to 60. So I need to increase on the x-axis 6 units. So 6 units is gonna be here, 18. 18 is almost here, and then we go up 15 units. So that's gonna be 45. 18, 45 is here. I'm gonna graph the point, and I have these 3 points that are going to represent the brand A. Okay, and I already have the lines that I'm going to use. And for the brand C, the black one, I can place the line here, and look how the line, the three points, seems like they are on this line. They are on this line, and we can draw a line, and it's going to connect all the points on the coordinate plane for the brand A. For the brand C, for the brand A, we have the red dot, so I can do the same here. And if you notice, this line is going to connect all the points because they all seem to be on this line. Okay, now the brand B, I'm going to represent it with the blue color. So I'm going to graph the points, and for the brand B, it's going to be easier because I have this information already on the table. So 618 is going to represent the order pair 68, 18. This is going to 12, 36. All these order pairs, and 18, 54. But there is a problem with this ratio. 54 is outside. 18, 54 is gonna be outside, so I'm not gonna use this one. Okay, I'm gonna erase it, and I'm gonna graph my representation only using these 2 order pairs. Okay, So 6,18 is gonna be here. 6,18. 18 is almost here. So 6,18. It's almost there. And the next one is 12,36. 12,36. 12 is almost is on this part of the x-axis. And 36 is a little bit up of 35. So it's almost here. Now I have my 2 points, and these 2 points looks like they are on a line. So I'm gonna draw the line here. I'm gonna draw it, and I'm going to connect the point. So if you notice, we can now answer the question, because the graph for the brand B is the steepest, and then the graph for the brand A, the red one, is steeper than the graph of the for brand C. So we can now answer which brand advertises the greatest ratio of raisins to ounces of cereal. So well, that should be the brand B because it's the steepest. So now you can see that when we have a one single graph, we can represent the the three brands, and the steepest line is going to represent the brand with the greatest ratio of raisins to ounces of cereal, and that is brand B. Okay, now to justify our response, I have this prompt, and it says the graph for brand B is the steepest. If you notice, it's the steepest one. And the graph for brand A is steeper than the graph for brand C. Yeah, the red one is steeper than the black one. So that means that brand B has the greatest ratio of raisins to ounces of cereal, followed by brand A, and then brand C. So that's how we solve this problem, guys. If you have any questions, you can drop a comment below. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, you can like and subscribe. I want to greet one of my students. I'm going to greet Luis Cantarero. He was asking me to make a video about this, so I decided to do it for you guys. But I want to make this special mention for Luis. Okay, guys. So thank you, and I see you on the next video. Bye bye.